Hi everybody. In today's video, we are going to read the next chapter of Secret Identity. Chapter 4, Level 42E. I was afraid to run with my backpack on. The camera was in nice and tight, but I was still worried I'd jolt it loose. So I did what Mom calls my power walk. I use it all the time when teachers or lifeguards are yelling, "Don't run!" It gets you places fast. People make fun of my power walk, so I only use it when I really, really, really want to get somewhere quick. And school was someplace I wanted to get to quick. A couple of older kids called, "Hey nerd, slow down," as they trucked onto the playground. I just ignored them though. I don't even think they know me. Bubba was nowhere. I checked the upper field, the lower field. I checked the four square courts and the basketball courts. I looked behind and even between all the portables, which are all the classrooms that look like flat-roofed mobile homes, only they never go anywhere. I even checked in all the boys' bathrooms just in case. Mr. Hoover, the janitor, must have noticed me running around because he grinned and asked, "Lose another sweatshirt, Nolan?" No, sir, I said. Just looking for someone. Ah, he said, and walked away, still grinning. Then I spotted Bubba cutting across the lower field, with Kevin on one side and Max on the other. They were laughing about something, and for some reason it made me mad. How come a bully like Bubba had friends and I didn't? The last bell rang, so I went into our classroom. I didn't want any of the other kids to think there was something strange about my backpack, so I hid it under my desk. I took up my pencil box and homework folder, my dictionary, and all my books. Randy shook his head and said, "Why do you take all that stuff home every day, nerd?" I looked right at him, so nobody steals it. Steals it? Who's going to steal that stuff? You think I'm going to steal it? You couldn't pay me to steal that stuff, nerd. Trinity Altoffer whispered, "Don't be so mean, Randy." Randy shrugged. "I'm not being mean, am I, nerd?" He wasn't really, not compared to some kids. But in my head, something happened. Something snapped. "Well, you're not exactly being nice," I told him. "And would you mind? My name's Nolan." His eyes got sort of big. "Yeah? Then why does everyone call you Nerd?" Same reason people call you Ricardo Retardo. Same reason people call her Pony Girl and him P-Boy." I looked from Trinity to Freddy to Randy. "I don't call any of you those names, so stop calling me Nerd." Randy looked across the table at Freddy, then back at me. "Whatever you say, nerd." He and Freddy busted up. Trinity went back to coloring the pony on her folder. I got madder than ever. I didn't let them know that. I kept my anger inside. But instead of staying in my throat like it usually does, it started burning through me, all around inside me. I felt hot and sharp, like I would zap people if I touched them. I snuck out a finger and touched Randy's sleeve. Nothing happened. During the flag salute, I watched Bubba out of the corner of my eye. He had scissors. Miriam had hair. I knew what he was thinking. I reached down for my backpack. I tried to be smooth, sly, cool. I could catch him digitally. I could nail him. Instead, I stepped on my shoelace and crashed to the ground, jeering, "With liberty and justice for all." My chair went flying. Miriam's hair had a chunk missing. So did my rear end, where it flipped the chair. At least that's what it felt like. It hurt bad. "You okay?" Mr. Green asked. "Yeah, fine," I lied, sliding back into my chair. "Sorry." "That's all right." He watched me a second, then called for absences. When he was done, he held up a stack of papers and said, "Fractions time trials are graded, gang. Some of you have work to do. Some of you," he looked my way, "ought to be in high school." Randy said nerd under his breath. I almost said retardo back, but I didn't. Mr. Green started handing out papers saying, "You need a 75 to go to the next level, gang. 70 doesn't cut it anymore." He gave back the papers at our table, and before anyone could see mine, I folded it in half. Trinity got 75 on level 7A. That's where most kids were. Some were on level 7. Randy folded his too, but I saw the score. 50 on level 5D. Freddy said, "Hey, I passed." and showed everyone his 80, level 8B. Then he looked at me and said, "Get another perfect, nerd?" "My name's Nolan," I said quietly. He ignored me. "What level are you on anyway?" I ignored him, but I was dying to know what my score was, so I peeked inside. 100%, level 42E. "Oh yeah. You did, didn't you, nerd?" Freddy said. "I can tell by that stupid look on your face." "What level? 12? "He's in the 40s, Freddy," Trinity said. "And leave him alone." "40s? There's no such thing." "Leave him alone," she said again. Freddy took another look at his 80 and stuffed it in his desk. I smiled a little at Trinity. She smiled a little back. Then I opened my paper again. Mr. Green had written something on the bottom of it, and I wanted to see what it was. I smiled big when I saw it. "Nolan, you shred, man. Awesome." "I shred?" Shred was special. Beyond awesome. He only said that about his favorite guitar players. Or bands. Or presidents. I put the paper carefully in my folder. Inside I could feel it. Things were changing.